Welcome to Timberland Farms. My name's Anthony. This is our beloved Timber here. I named a channel after him because he's such a good boy, and the farm. He loves his head scratches. But behind me is my 1968 Case 580 CK backhoe. Some of you may have remembered last year we did a transmission rebuild on this where we put new clutches in the shuttle pack. That is working fine. When I was using it in the last video, I was noticed that the new gauges that were installed when they had it split apart and painted, the temperature gauge was not reading anything. So I've investigated a little bit further. The radiator and the coolant reservoir, that was empty. I thought, like, oh, I need to top it off, probably half a gallon. Ended up being close to 2.5 to 3 gallons. So I'm gonna have to find out where that coolant is going, whether it's leaking or if it's using it. So for right now, it's topped off, it's got plenty in it. So I'm gonna fire this thing up, let it warm up, and then we're gonna go start digging into a pile, see if we can get the coolant temperature up and see if, also working the machine, we're gonna see if the thermostat actually opens up when it's supposed to. I don't know if we're gonna get it that warm for the thermostat to open up, but we're gonna work it a little bit, see if the coolant temp comes up off of 100, because it pegs down, like the 0 mark is at 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So we'll get this warmed up to at least about 100 degrees. Hopefully the thermostat itself is not bad, or the gauge. So this should be able to tell us. We didn't have anything before when I was digging, but once we get this warmed up, we'll pull it over in the driveway. We start tearing into this thing. I have other things that I also want to address on this thing. The hydraulic filter assembly, I'll show you a little clip of that. The bolts broke on it, so that's kind of flopping around. It's scratching up my nice new paint job on this thing. We'll give this thing a bath, fix that, put a new hydraulic filter in that reservoir, and I have a bunch of new parts coming in for this thing, because before I put the transmission together and all that, I didn't drive it at all, didn't use it at all. I didn't know it had oil leaks, so it's becoming quite an oily pig, and I don't like that on my new paint job. So we're going to try addressing some of those leaks today too. Fix that too. So what you just saw there, my foot got caught on the battery and the loader frame here. My foot got caught there because I don't have the battery tray. So that's in the works. I didn't want to put the battery tray in there with a bad battery, but now I got a good battery, so now I can put that on. This cover here needs a gasket. As you can see, it's all leaking. I got to put a gasket in there. I didn't have it, but now I do, so we can address that gasket. Look at the dash here. We got our new oil pressure gauge. That's working. Still need to wire up the ammeter gauge. Our coolant temp gauge, it's stuck at 100, and now we're going to see if we can get up to like 160. Thermostat should open up about 180 to 200. Our clutch pressure gauge, our fuel gauge, that is not hooked up yet either, and neither is the tach. So let's let this warm up, and then we're going to go start digging with it. Walk up to the machine here, touch the side of the block a little bit lower, so it's not going to be as warm as it is up here. Definitely feels like it's 120, 130 degrees at least, maybe hotter. And go around the other side. Look at our temp gauge and it ain't reading anything. Clutch pressure is good. Temperature, not so much. Oil pressure is still good. So, yeah, I don't know. However, I did finally find the exhaust leak. It's probably windy for you guys, but right here, there's a little pinhole in the exhaust manifold itself. So I'll pull that off, see if we can weld that back together. Now that I got it here in the driveway and turned off, this is the filter that's in question. The other hose is leaking pretty good, so we're gonna get this thing swapped out. Let me show you. All right, so here is the new, to me, it's actually really not new to me. This is off our parts backhoe. Some of you may remember that I bought a parts machine. It's sitting over at my dad's. That's where these loader arms came from, actually. These loader arms don't have any cracks, welds, or anything in them. So I put these on, took the old ones off that are bubble gum fixed. But this is off of that. The hoses on there look like they're pretty new. There is a little bit of dry cracking to them on the outside, but they look like they hold pretty good. So I got this housing. It's not cracked at the base. It came with the bolts. The bolts right in there nice and easy. So I cleaned it up and painted it. This is clean. That needs a bath, so let's give it a bath. But before we do that, I want to give you guys the filter here. This is a part number 1760 from Napa. That fits right inside of there. I'm gonna have to get a new filter gauge for this thing, but there's the filter that goes inside this. We'll kill two birds with one stone, fix the leaks, get something clean, have it securely mounted, and have a new filter in there. So let's get this thing a bath. So I'd also like to address the grill situation on the backhoe. As you can see, it's not there. I have it. I took it off to do some sort of repair on there, and when I was doing so, I broke the bolts off inside. So we're gonna try fixing that. I have a special surprise for that as well. I don't know if it's gonna make it this video or the next one. There's a lot to cover in this video. What are you doing? So I also noticed behind Timber's giant head, there's a bolt here. Yeah, you're gonna have to step aside. Come here. Over here. Over here. There you go. Spin around. There you go. That's it. That's a gentleman right there. Oh, you're a big goof. So anyway, there's a bolt that goes right here, and that is missing. Yes. Did you steal it? You probably stole it, didn't you? So we're gonna have to address that as well. Yes. You like the backhoe, don't you? All right. This old girl hosed off. We can take the hood off this backhoe. That's a 1/2 inch. That's also a 1/2 inch. Now with a proper size socket, we can go ahead and take this bolt out. And then I got one more that's holding this on. I got one already loose up here on the top. Well, that was a problem. Take the radiator cap off. Still got coolant in there. Take the muffler off. She's dirty. We're gonna have to wash the inside of this. Got a lot of soot. So now we have a better look under the hood of this beast. We're gonna have to take our air cleaner off in order to get the valve cover off and replace the gasket on that. Somehow this is leaking. I don't know if there's supposed to be an O-ring on here or something. This is oily and that's all it can be. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the exhaust manifold and see what we got to do to repair that hole that's in the side of it. Slide this guy out. So here's our exhaust manifold. Right here's the hole. See my finger on the back side a little bit. Yeah, it's got a crack. It's going down. It looks like somebody's already repaired this. I'm going to try repairing this as well. I see a little bit of daylight on this guy as well over here. So I'm not sure if this is worth fixing or not. I'm going to try because this exhaust manifold new is about $170. While we wait for that manifold to get welded up, we can go ahead and put a gasket on this shuttle assembly cover. I just put the cover on there and hand tighten the bolts and never actually put them in all the way. So we'll put a new cork gasket in there. We'll make our own. Go ahead and clean up the cover. Obviously we're going to have to clean up the mating surfaces for the gasket. We'll just trace this out and make a gasket for this guy. So here's the bottom of the cover. Got a couple of rags, a ball peen hammer, brake clean, and the cork gasket maker. This stuff is pretty universal. It's pretty much what they had in the 60s there when they made this backhoe. Being a cork gasket and not RTV, it's not really a necessity to get this squeaky clean, as long as there's no rust or anything that's going to cause an issue. No chunks or anything like that, but a light coating of oil won't hurt it. Go ahead and roll this guy out. Lay this over top. Flip it over, maybe it won't unravel on me so much. And we're going to use the cover itself to help define where our lines are. And we can use our ball peen end to find where the mounting bolts are. We should be able to flip it over. Now we got a nice outline to cut on. And it is partially cut. Use my handy dandy scissors. I could not find this gasket when I put the backhoe together. That's why I didn't get done right then and there. But now I found it, so it's going on. Just cut right across here. I'll save that for something else that's small. Maybe for like a carburetor for a small engine. I'll carve it right along here too to get this roll out of here. Now we just got to cut out the inside and where the holes go. So normally when I do this, I'll probably start right here on this side and just pinch it. Now I got myself a starter hole. You go right around, because I don't want to just go in the middle, so I could save this for another project. Then we got to pay close attention to where the dipstick goes, so it's not going to interfere with the threads on that. Just like that, all done. And we got a piece we could save for later. As for these holes, I think I'm going to stick it back on there and use the ball peen hammer, see if I can cut them with a ball peen. There we go, we got a nice hole on this one. This one started. Oh yeah. A nice hole on that one. Got 2 holes left. All right, we got that cover sealed up. It's tightened down, torqued to spec. I noticed that it's a little low on hydraulic oil, so what I'll do here is I'll put some fresh hydraulic oil in there. It's universal tractor fluid. It's meant for transmissions and hydraulic systems. It's on sale, $49 at Tractor Supply locally to me. I highly suggest getting a 5-gallon bucket pump if you have old antique tractors. So I don't know if there's water in this oil or not. Kind of looks like there is, so I'm just going to run it into this other bucket until it starts to run clear. I don't want to cross-contaminate, and there's not much left in here. I could use that as a waste bucket. Go ahead, take your dipstick out. Using a bucket pump like this makes it almost mess free. Sometimes you'll make a little slip up or something and make a little bit of a mess, but I'll put like 10 pumps in there and check it, see what we got. I really need to get the microphone fixed again. That thing breaks all the time. It's really poor design for somebody that's always out and about doing manual labor like I am. But hopefully I won't have to keep adding to it and making a mess all over my boots, having a leaky cover like this. And we look like we're right there on the money. Maybe 1/8 of an inch high, but I think that'll work. There's probably some bit of tolerance in the fluid level on these, so I'm not going to fret about it. While we're right here in this location, I got to show you something. So right here's our battery box. Obviously, the battery's sitting right here, kind of self-explanatory. This actually goes to the Case 430 tractor. I gotta weld that back on there. And then in the back corner there where there's a ratchet strap, that's a toolbox. So let me show you what I got. So I got this guy fresh out of the paint booth. I'll get some cover to go over the battery so it's not gonna arc. Let's see if I can find something. Well, this looks like some quality battery anti-sparky. So we're gonna use this as a floor mat out of the 2nd gen. It's actually out of a Subaru something. Got it out of the junkyard as a floor mat. So this will work great. It's rubber, nice and flexible. We'll cut it to fit. Eventually this will mold to exactly where we want it to sit, but that'll work perfect right there. I think the battery sits a little bit higher than what it's supposed to. This is a Group 31 battery. It's supposed to have 2 6-volt batteries, I think. So you have one facing this way and you have one facing that way. It's probably shorter, but that's got more than enough cranking amps. And there we go. Not perfect, but we got a battery cover now. There we go. So I think that's going to wrap it up for today. I'll catch you tomorrow. It's going to be the same video for you guys, but yeah, it's starting to get dark, so I'm going to finish this up tomorrow. Keep going. Alrighty, I just got back with our manifold. Put a couple booger welds on there. I was burning through quite a bit. This one was pretty easy. This one kept spreading. So, but I think it'll hold. It'll save me about 180 bucks. If it doesn't work, I could just buy a new one. But I think it'll work for me. Let's slap it on. All right, now we can pull out our rags here. I don't think this actually helped at all because it just wicked water inside the exhaust ports. So pull them out, scrape the old gasket off. Do the best I can to keep it in one piece. Well, it's not coming out in one piece. There we go. We go ahead and fish our new gasket in here. There we go. See if we can fish this guy down in here. There's that. I can put the bolts in. All right, we got the exhaust manifold in there. Replace the nut and lock washer that I lost. Got this up there, retap that hole there. Had to drill it out. Got our hydraulic line mounted up as well. Now on to the next step. For the next task, I'm gonna have to work underneath the loader arms. I don't really want to do that. From the factory, this did not come with a prop, so we're gonna make one. This looks like it's 32-inch on the money, so I'll make it 31 and like 3/4, something like that. Just get a little bit of play room, so it sticks in there nice and easy, just in case something happens and it doesn't go up all the way or something. Give it 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch of play. We'll zip tie it to the cylinder so it's not going to go anywhere. So let's get cutting. Alrighty, here's the really heavy angle iron I have here. We cut that just shy of 32. Use my handy dandy marker. That's where we'll cut it. Flip this around. Like a glove. Now we just need some zip ties, and that will be secure. Don't have to worry about the loader crushing me. We'll paint this and say "Do not scrap" or something for the 580 backhoe, so that they'll always be with this thing. Oh, beautiful! I think one zip tie will reach. I don't have to double them up. There's several things I want to do while the loader arms are up in the air. So definitely want to make sure this is nice and secure. I don't want to end up as a statistic. And I don't want to end up shaking hands with danger, so here I am. And as an extra precaution, I'm going to let the loader arm down. There we go. Let it down when I expect it to, so then it's not going to jolt and scare the bejesus out of me. So, yeah, that's solid. That's not going anywhere. The next thing I want to address is this grill. Obviously, you can see it's not existent. It was on here. I put some new bolts in there. They were new, but they still broke off inside of the little tabs that mount it into place. So the ones that are not broken off, I'm going to just tap those. And the ones that are broke, I guess I'm gonna have to drill them and tap them. I don't think I'll be able to get them out. I'm gonna have to drill them. So I got a special drill bit for that. I'll show you guys. But before I get too carried away, right here is our grill. We had some lovely folks from Murphy Steel make this up for us. They took this 1/4 inch plate steel and punched a bunch of holes in it for us. And they also used their CNC laser table or whatever they have, or plasma table. And we're able to cut out Timberland Farms, painted it to match the backhoe, and have them stick out just a little bit. They're sticking out from the face of the grill. Mounted them up. Could not be happier with this. So it's definitely a Timberland Farms backhoe, and it's here to stay. I'm so glad it's finally coming together. I'm just working on the little pieces, but this is going to be so cool to mount on the front. If you ever need anything done from steel fabrication work or anything like that, I highly recommend Murphy Steel if you're local to us here. But let's get these fixed. So right here I have my DeWalt Impact, but this is a drill and a tap all in one. Drill bit and tap bit all in one. And it is impact ready. DeWalt makes these. I'll leave a link in the description below for these guys. These things are awesome. I'll show you how well they work. So right here is one of our mounting tabs. We're gonna go ahead and drill this guy out. This is for 5/16. It's a drill bit size for 5/16 tap, as well as a built-in 5/16 tap. This is some thick steel to be drilling to do this, but it does work. Just like that. Now it's drilled and tapped. Now we got a couple more. This one still has the bolt stuck in here. Pull this out, run the tap through there, and then we can reuse this bolt. Also built into this drill bit, you have a little bit of countersink built right in. Obviously we can't use countersink right here. Now this bolt should thread right in, no problem. Easy peasy. It would go a little easier if my fingers weren't so cold. And we got 2 more to do. Hey, poop. Yeah. Man, I figured I'd stop to show you guys this. It captured the old bolt that was on the end of the drill bit, and now it's tapping. Man, this thing is great. Now we can go ahead and mount this guy up. Man, this is just going to complete the whole look. Definitely remember it being a tight fit. All right, it's starting to get dark. I got this guy mounted. I got one more bolt I got to address. The holes don't quite line up, so I'm going to drill this 1/4 inch plate out to be big enough to get the bolt in there. But I'm very happy how this grill turned out. I think it fits the channel really well. Really like this backhoe. It's going to here to stay. My dad had a backhoe just like this when I was like this big. So I'll leave a picture right after this of his backhoe with actually me in there. I'm not even tall enough to reach the top of the tire, so yeah, it was a long time ago. However, since it's getting dark, I think we're going to wrap up right there. Didn't quite get everything accomplished. You'll have to stick around for the next video. We still have to do the hydraulic filter housing, as well as the alternator, wiring this guy up, and a couple other little things to do. Battery kill switch we got to put in. Tachometer drive, we got to put that in there for the tach. A bunch of little things. So stick around. I hope we catch you on the next one, and I appreciate you sticking around this long.